Hello everyone, my name's Idiotic Synergy, and today we're going to talk about the Escher gang. Basically, it's an incredibly versatile gang with really weird toxic weapons and toxic flamers. Basically, if you like drugs and you like poisoning people, this is the gang for you. I don't know why I said that. It's like... Oh, never mind. Who cares? So, why are we covering the Escher gang? It's because it's one of the few gangs I haven't yet covered. I think all I got left after this is the Chaos Cult gang and the Gene Stealer Cult gang, and then that's it. So, Escher gangs, these are the models, and if you like abs, then please stay away from me. I mean, you are anyway. I ain't got any abs. But just the saddest omission. But these models are really nice, and I know some of you lewd bastards probably like them for different reasons, but I like them because of the massive headdress they have. Just look at the massive headdress, it's really fucking cool. But yeah, they are really interesting. They've got like a ton of weird and wonderful weapons, and they're really fast as well, and their initiative checks are batshit insane. Like, seriously, they are probably one of the better gangs in the game. And you can play them however you want, basically. That toxic flamethrower is really fucking cool. I've never seen someone use that weapon. It's really fucking cool. I love the green smoke. I also like the fact it looks like an injector, which is fitting because you can make drugs for them. That's right, there's an entire mechanic of making drugs for the Escher gang. Basically, this gang is for people that really like Tank Girl, that old film. And yeah, it shows. It shows its inspiration on its sleeve, or lack thereof, because they aren't really wearing any sleeves. But I have also seen people use the heads of Eschers for sisters. And when people do, sometimes you get that one that gets annoyed that it's not law friendly. It is. It stands to reason that sisters would sometimes recruit from Escher gangs. I mean, hell, the ecclesiarchy is just like the Imperial Guard in that respect. So if you want to have, a bunch of sisters of battle with mad haircuts, then go for it. I really like this gang. I like the weapons they have. Also, they're pretty big on plasma as well. So if you want to have a bunch of plasma Eschers, then you can. Like you said, incredibly versatile gang. If you're my mate who plays Necromunda sometimes, then you will just use nothing but lasguns because you're boring. Sorry, lasguns and the occasional power sword. Oh, sorry, Rob. It's just how he plays Escher. It's like, ooh, daring today, aren't we? What gang have you gone for? Lasguns. Woohoo! Just because they're really cheap as well. They're like, I don't know what amount of points they are. I think there might be 30 points or 40. I can't tell you off the top of my head. So I'm going to have to look that up. I mean, I am anyway. But yeah, really nice gang with really cool pets as well, because you can also bring Death Maidens, and Death Maidens are underrated in my opinion. They're really cool. Look at them. If you want to know what Death Maiden does, they basically, in the lore of Necromunda, they go to dead bodies and to ferment them to make drugs. It's really fucking weird, and these models are the epitome of weird. They're just really cool. They are really cool models. There's not a single bad thing I can say. Is that a bow and arrow? Why? To be fair, I say why, but then I remember people fucking use the massive crossbow for House Cawdor. Basically, there's this massive crossbow you can get with, it's got Blast 5, and its range is 48 inches, something ridiculous. It's really long, and like, it's really long. Hey, that's what she said. No, it wasn't. Anyway, but the crossbow range is really good. Unfortunately, for most of the time, when playing Necromunda, it's all going to be in closed spaces. However, having a blast marker of 5 inches is quite good. So yeah, if you know someone's behind a corner, just shoot a fucking frag grenade into a wall, blast marker, and then you can get people behind cover. It's really cool. Such a cool weapon. And it can also scatter into people. It's such, yeah, explosives on like close quarters maps are really cool. Same with flamer templates, and if you disagree with that, then fight me. I like flamers. Well, actually, I like the Eviscerator because it's just a better flamer. Fight me. But yeah, you can also use these weird pets they have, which are called the Phoenix. The Phoenix? The Phylinx. The Phoenix. It's a really cool looking pet, and it's plastic. I assume it's plastic. It better be plastic. Each Phoenix is kitted out with choice of blah blah blah. It's plastic. Yeah, it's plastic. Okay. I feel so dumb, but yeah, it's plastic, which is good because if it was resin, I would cry, but it's not. So anyway, I think I should show you the rules, shouldn't I? Yeah, it's that time again where we look at the rules, but it's going to be quite a long one because there's the drugs I have to cover as well, because they got their own segment on their own drugs. Ooh! Multiple different gameplay gimmicks. How fun. For people that collect Escher, for people that don't, it's a nightmare. Anyway, let's get into. So, these are the Chem Elixirs, Chem Alchemy Elixirs, should I say. And only Eschers can do this because only Eschers know how to make drugs. Despite all of them being high on drugs. So, you know, it would make sense if you're high off your own supply. This is why. But anyway, so Eschers can make their own drugs, and there are 3 categories of chems, stims, gas ammo, and toxic ammo. And if you're applying ammunition, then you need to change the traits of a single weapon for the duration of the battle. And if the effect applies to a fighter, that is typically any fighter hit or injured by the weapon. So yeah, you can upgrade your ammo as well as just stabbing yourself in the face with stims. And stims, you have to spend a simple action to administer a dose, and then the fighter is applied. Then the effect is applied to the fighter. I nearly said that then the fighter is applied to the effect. Either one would have worked. You can name your chems if you want, and if everybody agrees, Escher gangs can sell other gang members chems. If everyone agrees. It's up to you, though. So, Bad Blood. Starting off strong, we have the regular stim. So, Bad Blood. Cost 10, no requirements. That's a good thing about these. They have no requirements yet that we know of. Apart from this one here that requires all this. But Bad Blood, when suffering one or more wounds and or flesh wounds, all fighters base to base must pass an initiative test or suffer a toxin hit. Yep, this is Escher's. Toxin is an incredibly good trait. I will show you what Toxin does later on, but it's a really good trait, and yeah, though it does say all fighters, so that's friendly and enemy. Ooh, risk reward, let's go. Blood Rush, when applied, choose one of the following. Remove a flesh wound or recover from being seriously injured. So, you remove a flesh wound, which is always nice, or you can recover. Depending on your situation, do either or. Though, right, so it's one action to apply the dose, right? And then it's another action to stand up. So if you're seriously injured, stab yourself with that, stand up. And then, yeah, that's your turn over. Oh. That one's a bit of a risk-reward one. Brain Lock, Stim, 15, counts as a psyker for purpose... What? Sorry? For 15 credits, you can count as a psyker for the purposes of disrupting enemy psychic powers. Right, fuck off. 15 credits, that one is. That is cheap and cheerful. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna have a psychic denying Escher gang. Sod ya. Just, yep, no psychic powers for anyone. Dreamland, ignore insanity for 10 credits. That one might not sound, great, but it is. It is really good. Hyper for 20. So, wow, it does all of these three. So, movement 2 plus 2 inches. D3 instead of, not D3, D6 instead of D3 when making a charge, double action. Okay, that's quite good. -1 hit modifier. That's the downside. So you could be really fast, charging, but you might be hitting on 5s. Or 6s, depending on what you're using. Or 4s, if yeah. That's risk reward. I quite like that. Ice cold. Cost 15. +2 modifier to any cool tests. Very nice indeed. Jolt Stim 30. Yeah, hang on. Why is that 30? Count any serious injuries as flesh wounds. Lasts until that one's quite good. I won't lie, that one's quite good, but surely that means that because you can just bleed out, if you keep getting flesh wounds, you can just bleed out. So if you're already seriously injured and you've got Jolt going on, right? So you activate Jolt, and then someone keeps rolling seriously injured and flesh wounds, doesn't that count as just you bleeding out? I don't know. Because, yeah, you lose toughness, and once you lose all your toughness, then you're dead. So, that one I don't think Jolt is that good. I mean, sure, it's great if you don't want to get coup de grace, but at the same time, that for 30 credits, I don't know. Night Night, 25 credits. If going out of action, automatically apply out cold. Yep, this one, just spam this one, mate. What are you doing? Just spam this one. Yeah, fuck it, spam that one. That one's really good. Put that on your leader. That leader's never going to die. 25 credits, no lasting injuries. Okay, cool, just out cold. Though the fighters can still be captured as normal, which is quite fun. Predator's Kiss, Stim, 45 credits, requires an Apprentice Clan Chemist. No discount from Apprentice Clan Chemist, and cannot be combined with other chems. Right, so, +1 strength, close combat, melee weapons, gain reckless. What the fuck does reckless do? I don't know. I can't remember what. Right, reckless, what does. I'm gonna have to look that up. I am going to have to look that up because I cannot remember what Reckless does. I think... Oh, that's going to annoy me. I'm going to have to show you what Reckless does now, aren't I? Blood Rush when applied, so you gain Blood Rush and Hyper as well. Not bad. Not bad for 45 credits, though you need an Apprentice Clan Chemist and all of this shit. Puke, double the... double the toughness when affected by toxin or gas. That's quite good. If you've got someone spamming gas grenades, then that's quite good. That's quite good. Being toughness 6 against gas grenades is quite nice. Wide Eye. Ignore the effects of pitch black rolls. Enemies always count as being in the open if being a sentry, sneak attack, scenario, special rules. Yeah, okay, that one's quite fun. Yeah, I don't hate that one. That one's quite good. Acidic, gas ammo 20. So gas ammo 20. So we're on gas ammo now. So yeah, acidic, gas ammo 20, requirements gas. If hit, no benefits from armor or war gear that would normally apply against gas, and can 20 credits, yeah? Can increase the toughness. Treat out of action as seriously injured instead. Right, so that one's, if hit, that one's quite, I'm confused about that one, because is that like that's a benefit for you, so you would fire, hang on. So applied, so it changes the traits of a single weapon and you fire it, and it treats, so it's like a smoke screen? I don't know. Bane gas ammo, 15 gas. If hit, use toughness 3, regardless of actual value. Modifiers to toughness from equipment still apply. Um, okay. So everyone's toughness 3 then. So if you hit someone with it, then yeah, they become toughness 3. It's really good against Ogrins. Uh, that is actually quite good against Ogrins. You've got like a ton of Ogrins that you're fighting against, spray them with that, and yeah, they become toughness 3. And because they're big targets, they're going to die quite easily. Blackout, gas ammo, 30 gas, any seriously injury, any serious injury inflicted counts as out of action instead, so I'll use this against enemies. The lasting injury is automatically out cold, so could be used against enemies and friendlies. Because if you don't want to risk someone getting coup de grace, just spray them with that, and then yeah, just, oh no, he's dead, but it's only out cold, so not bad. Blinding. Apply blind conditions. I like the idea of these gas weapons. They're quite fun. These gas weapons. So gas weapon 10, gas ammo 10, gas. So it's like friend and foe. You can do shit to both. That's quite nice. Apply blind condition until the end phase of the current round when inflicting a flesh wound. Expansive gas ammo 20, gas blast. Place an additional blast marker, at least touching one other generated by the weapon. Hallucinogen. So you can have 2 blast markers for the price of 1. That I've just realised something. If you've got a blast marker 5, having that blast marker 10. Yep, just combine the 2 and just have that extra reach of having a longer... Yeah, that one's quite fun. That one's quite fun. I like expansive. Really useful against smoke. If you could put that in a smoke grenade. Up to you. Or tear gas for when you want to commit the ultimate war crime. Hallucinogen 15. If hit, pass a willpower test or suffer insanity. In addition to the toughness test for the normal effects. Okay. Leaden, 30 credits. Gas template. Hang on. Whoa. Gas blast template. After resolving the attack, place a 3-inch blast so that the center hole is within the area of the original blast/template attack. The new 3-inch blast remains until the end phase of the current round. Any fighters moving through it counts as being hit by the weapon that made this attack. Apply the hit after the fighter ends its current action. Lifting, gas and template. The template is placed up to 6 inches away from the attacker. Must be positioned in a straight line, narrow ends pointed directly towards the attacker. The wide end must then be the furthest part of the template from the attacker. Okay. Pathologic. Sure. I don't have an opinion on that one. It's just alright. Pathologic, 15, gas. If hit, fighters must roll a 3 up at the start of the next activation or suffer the effects of the gas trait, as if hit being by the same weapon again. Ooh. That one's mean. Gas ammo 20, gas gain blaze. Nah, fuck off. Use a regular flamer, you cowards. Right, now we get into toxic ammo. Holy shit, there's a lot. I'm nearly done with this. My apologies for wasting your time. I know it's quite boring, so let's get through this quickly. Bleeding, toxic ammo 10. If injured, suffer a flesh wound at the start of the end phase. cumulative per injury. Blood Boil requires Apprentice Clan Chemist. No discount from the Apprentice Clan Chemist and cannot be combined with other chems. So, +1 modifier when rolling against the target's toughness if injured. Exploding if taken out of action. Place a 3-inch blast marker centered over the fighter before being removed from the battlefield. The blast inflicts a gas attack. I can't talk. Maddening. Gain Reckless. There it is again. What's Reckless? I'll show you after this. For all of its attacks for the rest of the battle. Concentrated. Toxin. +2 modifier when rolling against the target's toughness. Only applies to the single first hit. Debilitating. 10. Toxin. If injured, take a -1 modifier out of any characteristic tests. What the fuck? Okay, so you suffer 1 to all... Oh, fuck off. This one's evil, and it's only 10 credits. That one is evil. Call checks are going to be harder. Everything's harder. This is cumulative for each injury suffered by this weapon. Fuck off. So if you're hit by it, again, that's -2, then -3. You just hate your friends if you use this. Decaying. Toxic Ammo. 5. If injured, suffer a -1 modified save rolls. Is cumulative for each injury suffered by this weapon. For 5, that's quite good. That's quite good. It's not as mean as this one. This one is just horrible. This one's quite fun. So if you've got someone with, you know, a really good set of armor that gives them like a 3-up save, so like heavy carapace or something with armored undersuit, then you can just use this and just slowly get at them. Exploding. Toxin. If taken out of action, place a 3-inch blast centered over the fighter before being removed from the battlefield. The blast inflicts a gas hit. Maddening. Toxin. If injured, gain Reckless for all attacks for the rest of the battle. Maiming. If taken out of action, inflict 2 lasting injury rolls and the attacker can choose which of the 2 results to apply. So that's quite mean. That is quite mean. I hate that one. Panicking. Toxic Ammo 10. Toxin. If injured, immediately become broken. Paralyzing. If injured, pass a strength test or become webbed. Counts as being paralyzed. If silencing. If injured, cannot issue or take part in group activations. That one's just useless. Skin Fire requires clan chemists, same as everything else. On a 4-up, you suffer Blaze, Debilitating, suffer -1 modifier to any characteristic, or Decaying. I would personally, if I was to combine Skin Fire, if I had Skin Fire, I would use Decaying, because that means the Blaze gets better and better. Or, you know, you could be a prick and choose Debilitating, and I think that's it. But synergy. What is Reckless? Well, let me show you. I don't know why I referred to myself in the third person there, but fuck it. This video is going to be really long. Who cares? If you're watching at this point, then thank you. But I need to show you what Reckless does. So, Reckless. What does Reckless do? You ignore target priority, randomize the target from all eligible targets, friend and foe. So, yeah, you can just start opening fire. Targets in the attacker's line of sight and range of the weapon. So, yeah, you can just start gunning people down, including your friends, which is a bit worrying. But additional hits must be distributed among the maximum number of eligible targets. If there was more hits than eligible targets, choose where the spare hits are allocated. Melee targets in base to base or within range of versatile. Very nice indeed. And what does Toxin do? Because Toxin is another one to make a note of. Toxin, instead of making a wound roll equal or higher than the toughness, as a 6 before modifiers always succeeds. To inflict an injury roll regardless of wounds. Basically, gas weapons have this, and tear gas weapons. Basically, a lot of different weapons have this. So, Toxin is really fucking good. It is incredibly good. Kind of difficult to pull off against Ogrins, though. So, You might want to be wary of that, but it's really good. Right, so should I get into the rest of the rules? I should, really, shouldn't I? So, these are the gang rules for each of your ganger. You have different types of ganger, and they are quite good. I'm just going to say that if you use anything but the Death Maiden for your champions, you are, well, not stupid, because you can just shove a flamer or a toxic flamer on this champion and that'd be alright. But then again, the Death Maiden's really good, like obscenely good, you might argue. But we'll get into that in a minute. And I've already recorded this segment, but unfortunately it didn't save properly, so I'm redoing it. So let's do this segment quickly, because my stuttering's getting really bad at the minute, so I apologise for that. So, starting with the Queen. Movement 5, Weapon Skill, Ballistic Skill 3, Toughness, Strength 3, Wounds 2, Initiative 2, which is really fucking good, Attacks 3, Leadership 5, Cool Check 5, Willpower 6, Intelligence 7. That's really quite good, actually. Initiative 2. You ain't failing initiative, and all that. Like, the worst thing about her stat line is the fact that intelligence is at 7, which is incredibly average. But yeah, that is really quite good. Then we get into the sister, which is a regular ganger. Movement 5, Weapon Skill 4, Ballistic Skill 4, Strength Toughness 3, Wounds 1. Initiative 3, however, attacks 1, but 7's across the board. Really solid as a unit choice. Also, if you love las gun spam, then just use this, because playing against someone that just loves las guns is really fun to fight against. Oh, I can't talk. I use eviscerators, which basically means that if I get an injury roll off, you're dead. That, like, you're just out of action. You are mincemeat. You are just stomped into the ground. So, Champion, Specialist, Death Maiden, the best unit I think they have, in my humble opinion. But the reason I say this is because Movement 6, Weapon Skill 2, Ballistic Skill 3. Sorry, try not to stutter. Strength 3 though. Toughness 4, same toughness as a Goliath, so quite hard to kill. Wounds 2, Initiative 2. 3 attacks. Remember, attacking on 2s as well. And quite fast, and it's only... it's like 10 points cheaper than a Queen. It's ridiculously cheap and quite nice to use. Leadership 8, Cool Check 4, which is really good. Willpower 7 and Intelligence 7. The only bad thing I can say about this model is the fact, well, 2 bad things. Leadership 8, which isn't great, and restricted to pistol and close combat weapons only. But, considering at the speed she moves at, and her melee weapons that are available to Eschers, you're fine. And Poison Blood, you can reroll toxin weapons, because why not? Why not, son? Yeah, Death Maidens are evil. Then you have the Matriarch, which, to be fair, is quite a good champion. But it sort of pales in comparison to the Death Maiden, but is, in its own right, a good champion, and there's no restrictions. So, Movement 5, Weapon Skill 3, Ballistic Skill 3, Strength Toughness 3, Wounds 2, Initiative 2, again, that's quite good, Attacks 2, Leadership 6, 6s across the board, mate. Then we get into the Juves. Basically, the Juves, the little sister, Movement 5, Weapon Skill 4, Ballistic Skill 5, which is, to be fair, that's the same as a Redemptionist. That is the same as a Redemptionist, only thing is they don't have eviscerators because they're cowards. Sorry. Strength 3, Toughness 3, Wounds 1, Initiative 3, which is quite good. Attacks 1, Leadership 8, 8s across the board. Then we get into the much worse Juve Prospect Runner. Or Prospect Wild Runner. I don't like this. It's 45 credits. Weapon Skill 4, Ballistics Skill 4. So you might think, oh wow, it's quite good. No, Strength 2. Strength 2. That's right, your strength is at 2. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Also, these stats here, Leadership 9, Cool Check 7, willpower 9, intelligence 9. When compared to just 8s across the board. Just take, you can take, for the price of one Wild Runner, you can take 2 Little Sisters. Take the 2 sisters. There is nothing wrong with that. And yeah, Phoenix Cat is also another one that you can bring. And the Phoenix Cat, movement 6, weapon skill 4. But if you roll a 6, then you can apply Toxin, Strength 3, Toughness 3, Wounds 1. Sorry, just try not to stutter. It's generally one of the worst things to try and not do. That's why recording takes forever. It's just a pain in the ass. In Initiative 3, Attacks 2, Leadership 10, Cool Check 7, Willpower 9, Intelligence 11. And all their attacks have Reckless, which ain't bad. Ain't great, but ain't bad either. And yeah, that's it. They have their own special skill tree. And these are the weapons you can bring. You can bring auto pistols, hand flamers, las pistols with hot shot las packs, needle pistols, plasma pistols, stub guns, bolt pistol. Actually, bolt pistol, needle pistol combi, which is 60 credits. I would say that would be a lot, but I'm someone that uses eviscerators, so I have no right. I've got 4 eviscerators in my gang. You don't need much else. Auto gun, bolt gun, las pistol, sawn-off shotgun, wild bow with acid, explosive, or poisoned, throwing knives, flamers, gaseous eruption, which is, you know, a very nice ability. Grenade launchers, melter guns, needle rifles, plasma guns, bolter flamer, bolter melter, needlers, plasma combi weapons, nightshade, chem thrower, which is, wow, that is 135 creds. Ooh, that's expensive. Heavy stubber if you so wish. Plasma cannon if you want to fuck around with, if you just want to fuck around. Yeah, then you've got all these wonderful weapons. Chain axe, chain sword, knife, power hammer, power knife, power sword, razor sharp talons, servo claw, shock whip, stiletto knife, stiletto sword, and venom crawl, and a whip. Right, so onto the skill tree, and then that'll be it. Then I have done the Eschers. Not like that, you perv. So, Escher skills. They have acrobatic, which ignores enemies when during a move, simple, or a charge, double active. In effect, move over other fighters. 1 inch roll still applies once the movement is complete. And cross any barricade, or linear terrain feature up to 2 inches high without reduction in movement. That one's quite good. Combat focus, +1 willpower and cool check per enemy fighter. Or seriously injured out of action. Note that the result of a 2 always fails. Very nice. Combat Verticio. Gain versatile with range equal to the fighter's strength. Knife, stiletto, knife and sword, power, knife and sword, or chainsword. Very nice. Hit and run. You can make a free retreat basic after a charge double action before the opponent makes any reaction attacks. If unsuccessful, the opponent can only make reaction attacks once. Lightning reflexes, make a free retreat action when engaged before the enemy makes an attack action or additional actions. Can only be used once per round, regardless of whether it was successful or not. The fighter can still activate as normal if ready. Somersault, spend a basic action somersaulting. And can be placed within 6 inches of the current position, line of sight outside 1 inch of an enemy. So, yeah, can you shoot basic with an unwieldy ranged weapon during an activation where this action is made? So, if you were to somehow get an eviscerator for the Eschers through the black market, right? Does this mean you can then somersault and burn people alive with a eviscerator? Because that would be pretty cool. Anyway, and that's all, and that's it really. What skills do I recommend you get? Hit and run's quite good, because you can fight twice. Well, you can retreat. So yeah, you can do a charge, then just retreat, and then next turn you can probably charge in, and then do that again. It's annoying to fight against. I quite like acrobatic, but I think lightning reflexes is quite a nice one, and some assault's just fun. So, anyway, I'm going to go now, and I'll see you later. I hope you enjoyed this video. If not, then I perfectly understand. There will be a meme video coming out at some point today. So, I will see you later. Remember, take care, stay safe, and look after each other. Bye for now.